My name is Tim Young, filling in for David Webb today. If you want to get in on the conversation, 1-866-95-PATRIOT, 1-866-957-2874. I have always been a fan of Judicial Watch. Before 2016, when Republicans were in charge in Congress, Judicial Watch was doing the job I thought that Republicans were supposed to be doing. They were asking questions. They were trying to figure out what the Obama administration was doing. I really felt like Republicans were asleep at the wheel. And the guy who's been in charge of Judicial Watch this entire time, who's been leading the fight, is joining me right now, President of Judicial Watch, Tom Fitton. Welcome to the show, sir.
Hey, good to be with you, sir. Thanks for having me.
Hey, no problem. So this past week, and I was reading the press release before I brought you on, before the break, you guys had a huge victory with this Hillary Clinton email case that has been quiet for a little bit. The media doesn't cover it. Sean Hannity does. Donald Trump retweets you guys more than anyone else. I mean, that's justification that you guys are doing something right. But the judge here seems angry at the State Department and the Department of Justice for covering up for Hillary Clinton's lost emails. Can you tell us about that?
Well, it's no surprise that they're covering it up, or it ought not to be to anyone who's following this, because the Justice Department and the State Department have never stopped defending Hillary Clinton and protecting her and the agencies that were her co-conspirators from any serious inquiry about her email scandal. And a federal court judge pointed this out last year. He pointed it out again just a few weeks ago in a hearing that he had set to discuss discovery he had given us that raised additional questions about the State Department's cover-up. But at one point he says, because the State Department's lawyers, the Justice Department is coming in and says there's no good cause to continue discovery here. And the judge says the good cause continues from whether or not state was acting in good faith. And I tell you, everything they've discovered in this period, they, being Judicial Watch, raises serious questions about what the hell the State Department's doing here.
Can I ask you, have you heard a judge get that angry at the government before?
Yeah, during the Clinton administration.
That's like, it's
when they were covering up similar activity. They were doing similar games, moving documents out, hiding them to cover up a scandal. And that's what happened with Hillary Clinton, the Obama administration. And this Justice Department, this State Department continue to defend it. I personally like Mr. Pompeo. I think highly of Mr. Barr. But these cases and this approach on Hillary Clinton and the emails is inexcusable.
Do you think they know where these emails are? Have they found them? I mean, it's crazy to me that they're still out there.
Well, the FBI was able to recover 5,000 of the 33,000 that she deleted. And included in those emails was classified information, so it was a big lie that it was all about yoga. That's what the judge wants to know. There are other emails out there that can be searched for as the law requires under the Freedom of Information Act. And we're just getting the runaround from the government, and this is why the judge granted us discovery again, or granted us additional discovery. We'll bring in additional witnesses, and maybe we'll find out in about a month and a half Mrs. Clinton herself.
It's so hard for me to understand. And like you said, it's got to be frustrating even now under the Trump administration with Pompeo and Barr. You guys are the ones pulling in the Director of Information Programs and Services, getting them to admit what they've been doing. You're pulling in all of these senior officials, and it's the federal court who's helping you, granting you this investigation. Why hasn't there been more cooperation with the State Department and Department of Justice? What is there to hide?
There's plenty to hide, Tim. I mean, these agencies are embarrassed by the corruption they've allowed to take place under their noses. Many of those involved in the scandal are still there bureaucratically. And, my guess is when the agency heads are asked about these issues or ask about these issues, they're given a runaround by the deep state that's running the actual agencies on a day-to-day basis.
I mean, it's unbelievable. But it really feels to me when I'm reading this, and I was able to read the transcript of the court hearing itself, that the judge gets it and the judge understands this. And I think any reasonable person, and I would encourage any reasonable person, you guys want to learn more about what's going on with this Hillary Clinton email case and see the incredible work Judicial Watch is doing, just go over to judicialwatch.org and check it out, because you should inform yourselves with this. I'm gonna give you almost an open floor here, Tom. But what else are you guys working on that we should be aware of right now?
Well, we're doing the work that the IG supposedly supposed to be doing in the Justice Department and all those agencies, and figuring out the details of the deep state criminal seditious conspiratorial coup against President Trump. We've got new documents about how the FBI and the Justice Department were collaborating with Fusion GPS to launder the dirty dossier, despite their knowing it came from someone, namely Christopher Steele, of course, the Clinton campaign, who paid him, that were desperate to stop him from being president. And that Fusion GPS, the Clinton DNC operation that was spying on Trump and trying to gather dirt on Trump, may as well have had a death to the Justice Department, given their close interactions through Bruce Orr, whose, of course, wife was married to Nellie Lear. All these details are coming out because Judicial Watch is getting FBI 302 reports, which are the FBI reports summarizing interviews they had with Bruce Orr about Russiagate. And it just confirms everything we were concerned about in terms of the impropriety of the whole activity targeting Trump. And my concern, Tim, generally is that the IG reports, frankly, are coming out that provide color and add substance to the issues that we already know about, and the Justice Department continues to sit on its hands.
It's unbelievable. That should trouble everyone. But I'm glad that you guys are, again, fighting the fight with this and actually doing the digging on this stuff. Now, it was you guys originally as well at Judicial Watch that fell into finding and uncovering Hillary Clinton's private server, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's why we're in court over the Clinton email scandal now. It was this case. We were asking questions about Benghazi. Notice there were no Clinton emails. It was that litigation that forced the government for the first time to disclose the Clinton email issue.
I just couldn't imagine sitting around and being the investigator over working for Judicial Watch and saying, like, what is this ClintonEmail.com email that's coming in through here? This is a weird one. Wonder where this is. And then you find out that they're sending this classified information, which people have gone to jail for one classified document. People have been fired. Their lives have been ruined for leaking one classified document or mishandling one classified document. And here there's piles that are coming out. It's unbelievable. Tom, tell us a little bit more about Judicial Watch. Again, I think people are familiar with it, but where we can go find the stuff, how they can support you, and all of your good work.
Yeah, we're online, obviously, with everyone else these days at judicialwatch.org. We have a Facebook account, Twitter account. You can follow me at Tom Fitton, and then Judicial Watch at Judicial Watch. And if you really want to know what's going on in Washington, you really need to follow us online. If you like what you see, please support us. And those of you who are already supporting us, thank you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you really have to be under a rock to not see that the President of the United States, on one Sunday, I think he retweeted like 10 or 20 of your tweets between Judicial Watch and you. You guys are leading the fight that Republicans should be fighting, and everyone should be fighting in general, keeping an eye on the government and what they are doing. So thank you for your work, Tom, and thanks for joining us today.
You're welcome, Tim. Thank you for the good work.
Uh-huh.